All right, good evening, everyone. Hey, it's I, Nathan Bonner, the artist and creator of Indavo and the artist of the Big Buddy Monster comic, A True Love Tale of Murfreesboro, detailing Murfreesboro, Illinois' very own cryptid. And hey, we're doing an art stream, and we will probably hear the whines of kittens in the background because I've kind of locked them out of the studio here. On another note, their very feral mother has been captured and is currently stationed in this very room, but she's very quiet, just occasionally hissy. Taming could take a long time. But anyway, she might be a spay and release, but we'll see how this all goes between now and her actual appointment to be spayed. As she sits with her back to me. Anyway, we have a lot to work on with that one. But we also have a lot to work on with Indavo 3.0. I've not really had a chance to work very much on it this week because sometimes life gets in that way. So what we have here is we have a blank document in Moho 14. And we are going to hit Save As. And we're going to find out, there we are. And our last one, we'll go to shot 7, which is, I believe, where we are right now. Indeed, we are. This is what we're going to do. Probably can hear the whine of what is doubtlessly Black Kitten Kodiak outside in the hallway. He'll be fine for another 30 minutes or so. It will not kill him. Very needy. But, I mean, he is very friendly and very human-centered, which is really great for a kitten that was basically feral when he was caught. It took precisely 23 hours for him to be tamed up completely. A cat whisperer. My side gig. Anyway. So, we've saved that, which is very important. Let's check the settings here, just in case, make sure we have all the settings right. Yes, we want 1080p. And 24 frames per second, and it's going to go 10 seconds. Probably not for the entire port. I did say this is shot 7, so I'm going to click OK. We're going to make another one. Yes, indeed, we are. And we're going to shave this as 7A. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, we're going to have one scene, basically, that will have our captain popping. It'll be his transmission. So it'll be a scene within a scene. So we'll have the backside of Indavo and Rachel's chairs on the adventure, and a monitor screen will pop up with the very versed captain on it, and he will announce who he is, and we'll get going. So the first thing we need to really do in this is the captain's video, which is what we're going to call this one. Right here, we're going to call this one B. Shot 7B. Okay, so, well, let's get started on this. Let's not wait around very much on ceremony. Okay, at frame 0, we're going to take the background C here, which is, boom, the background of the ship. Now, this, in our final version, might be blurred out ever so slightly in After Effects. We're not going to do any of that here. This is just basically for reference, so that I know what's there and I can kind of animate to what's around the guy. It's in the background. He's focused on screen. Probably not necessary, but heck, it's much more interesting this way than looking at a white background. Absolutely. Okay, Moho object. So we're going to go into animation resources, to our characters, to the captain of the Kierden. All right, we're going to bring him in on frame 0. We're going to bring him in as a port by reference. He is a relatively new character, and there may be problems that happen. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to actually hold down a shift key. And instead of scaling him, we're moving him on the Z space. Into row. I overdid that. There we go. Let's kind of put him in here. Him a little bit closer. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we're going to go to frame 36. And actually, we'll start the 1 second mark on this one. So 1 second in is where we're going to put our audio file. So we're going to go over here to our sequencer here. So this is where we can import a layer or object, and we can move it around for the length of however it is. Which in this case is a certain length of audio file. So let's go back to the general import, and we need to go back to our 7. I'm gonna try and make better progress next week. Looks like he does talk for quite some time. Not too bad. About 4.5 seconds, mostly. So we don't need our shot to go beyond 144. So, which is a-okay. This will also inform us how long, if we need to make any reaction shots or whatever, to Indavo or Rachel, or we're just going to see the tops of their heads move and then hold for 10 seconds, which is probably more than enough time to kind of get the effect in and everything. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. So on that, the first thing we need to do before we do anything else is we need to activate the keyframing for the mouth. So we're going to go here to the head, which is already open. Wow, what do you know? Here's the panel with the captain's layers, and here's the head, and we're going to go to the mouth. And he only has one mouth because he is not very expressive. Pressed emotions bubbling into rage. I'm going to hit enter. What we've done is we've got the switch settings. We selected our source, interpolate sublayers, which should work because I did cut out his mouth, so we shouldn't get any wonkiness. We'll see here in a second if that's the case. We're going to hit enter because the OK is not visible. And we're going to go back to keyframes. And we can see here on the mouth layer, we have... I would like to mention that the voice is amazingly portrayed by the Komar. He did a spectacular job on this guy. Yeah. Excellent. I wanted him to be very enunciated. See, what happens here is we have, because all the points on the different layers of the mouth are the same, we can hit interpolate. As long as you have the exact same number of points in relatively the same position, you will be able to interpolate without, if you had like an additional point, like in the mouth wide, if I'd added another point, that would cause a problem because that point would have no previous points to go off of, and you could also see these kind of wonky mouth movements. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, I'm too impressed by that right now, and I shouldn't be. But sometimes I do impress myself. And that is dangerous. So let's go to frame 1. All right, here. We are on frame 1, and I am getting out the anti-fouling glove. Oh, yes. All right, we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, so let's get this guy into position. Now, he's just going to have some head movements, to be honest. So we don't really need to do too much with him. Let's get that head rig over here. Looks like we do have a bit of a head turn on this guy. Does he turn a little bit? Yeah, he does have a little bit of a pivot on him, but that's right. We only did the 3/4 view. That's all we need, and we probably don't even need that, really, honestly. This is quite good, right? As is. Head up, down, which is fine. And oh, something just snapped. Okay, this is very good because what we have discovered is that there is an actual keyframe about the size and position attached to the head up, down. Okay, well, we need to fix that. So, okay. As it happens when you make characters, sometimes in the programming, you actually did click the wrong thing. I was probably yakking my head off to the audience here. And I did not get that right. Oops. Let's go into characters and let's fix it. Okay, so we know what the problem is. We know it's in that smart bone. So we're going to open up here. Okay, here's the character. Let's open up our actions panel. So window. And actions. Oh, it is already open. It's on the other screen. I'm gonna leave it up here. So this is what the action panel looks like here. Okay, so what we need is we need that head down too. That's the when he tilts his head down. And what we need to do is we need to see what's going on here. Okay, so this is the 5. What do you know? I see other things popping up here. There's a position right there. There is a position right there that we do not need. We do not need. Let's get rid of that. And let's go up the line and see if there's anything else. There's nothing else. The wind is not activated. That's what that little symbol is there. Looks like that's the turn of the head. And it is in the down position. So we're going to click A, OK, save. All right. Now go back to shot B. And you can see here he's got these red arrows on his various layers. Now, so we're just going to select this first layer, and we're going to hit update reference layer, and we're going to make sure that all the boxes are checked and hit A-OK. And now, when I move this down, oh no, well, unfortunately, one of the problems with Moho currently is that when you do the actions updates in one file, it for some reason doesn't want to translate them. So we fix the problem in the main file for the future, which we'll have to do anyway. But we'll have to fix it here too. So boo. Get your act together, Moho. No, it's fine. No, literally it's okay. This isn't too bad. It would be nice though if things were automatically updated in that. So bam, that's fixed. We're going to go back to our main line right now. Get rid of that actions panel. Okay, and now we should be able to, his head is pivoted down. What do you know? Let's adjust this a little bit back. Okay, here we go. Okay, so his head is pivoted down, and that looks good. Let's kind of give him some starting expressions. Yes. Okay, he's going to hold this.
This is
Yes, let's pivot that head up just a little bit here. Make sure those eyes are kind of focused on what should be our erstwhile heroes. Okay, we're going to do another keyframe because you'll hold there.
the empire of the sword.
As he's talking, we're going to have that head pivot down. There you go. Make sure those eyes kind of stay up.
The empire of the sword destroyer.
Yes, give it a little bit more of a characteristic movement here. We'll do it first pass.
The empire of the sword destroyer.
Make this a little bit more subtle. Say he's regarding Indavo with curious eyes. Put a blink in there. We'll probably put a blink in here too.
The empire of the sword destroyer. Kurden. Identify.
There we go.
Identify yourself.
Yeah, there we go. That's not so bad. Okay, let's take a first pass on this one. Save. Okay, let's see how this goes.
This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves. This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves.
All right, there is one thing that I do need in the mouth layer. Sometimes the mouth layers don't quite catch everything. Like right here, there should be one more. Ah, see, perfect. Well, not perfect, but yeah, I'm gonna call it perfect. Alrighty, so
This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Destroyer.
let's see what we got here if we kind of play.
Empire of the Empire of the Sword Destroyer. Identify yourself.
Ah, see, good mouth movements going on here.
This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves. This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves.
All right, excellent work there, Mr. Komar. The Komar, I should congratulate him. Okay, I think I've done his voice work some little justice here. So we're going to say that's pretty good. But before I do, let's play this at full speed. Selecting the background, the layer, which is below the background layer. So we get rid of all the bones. We're going to hit save, and we're going to go up to File. We're going to get to preview animation. Yeah, preview animation. Okay, we're going to preview animation. It's going to knock my music out here, and I'm going to take a look at it over here.
Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves.
Oh, that's actually really good. We're going to say that is yes, that is quite good. Okay. Yes, that looks good. No, do I want to change it? No, I don't. Okay. Okay. Well, let me turn the music back on. Let me apologize for that. Turn back the alt trim. Ah, sorry. All right. So. Okay, so that's good. We've got hit save. So what we're going to do is take that to background off there, and we don't need that layer. Can stay. It's transparent anyway. Things to watch out for. Well, on exporting. Okay, so exporting animation. So things to watch out for. So we need to make sure that we're on image sequence. I use PNGs. Used to use targets all the time. That's what targets were made for. Is for the alpha channel that they had. So they had a transparent background. They were used in movies and television, etc., so forth. Not so much in print, which is for my graphic design background. I never knew what a target did. That's what a target is. A TIFF, on the other hand, doesn't make sense here because TIFFs don't have alpha channel. They're print documents. But if you're, I don't know, maybe you're printing off your backgrounds and everything and all without any transparency, you could use a TIFF. Sure, we could do that. But I'm using PNGs because PNG now, back in the olden days, PNG was not all that great, but now it is really quite good. So we're going to choose the folder, which we're going to save this in, and we're not saving it in the captain's folder. No. We're going to go back to Shot 7, and we're going to make a new folder, and it's going to be called Renders. Renders, yes, indeed. Pay no mind to my terrible typing. Okay, so anti-alias, edges, bam, we're going to go. So this is on its way. Okay, so he starts talking a second into his video. It will take a second for the video to appear. In that kind of Centrati hello panel sort of way from Macross / Robotech. Giving away all my sequence and references. I do it. Still from the best. Anyway. I do see something, though, now that I am a little concerned about. I think the neck moved. Oh, well, dang it. I moved the neck. Did the neck move? Nope, the neck did not move. Okay, well, I see some problems with the character right now. I see that the shoulders are not quite where they need to be, so we're going to have to re-render this again. I'd like to apologize, but this is all part of it. You always see what's wrong. Ooh. After you hit the render button. Ah, yes. Okay, sorry about that. Make sure that those guys are in position. All right, so yes, it's finished rendering, but hey, we got to render it again because I saw that the his medals, his uniform, shoulder pad things were out of whack. So yeah, damn it. Alrighty, it's no problem. We're just going to export the animation again. So we're going to go back to image sequence, PNG. We're going to overwrite the existing files. We're going to choose our previous one right here, and yet. Bippity boppity boo, wouldn't you? Okay, and it's going again. All right. So, while that is going, we're going to go back over here to the original file that we made, and we are going to plop into it. Yes, indeed. Plop, I say, the background file of Shot 7, the other one, without the spaceship in it. Okay. Not worry about the spaceship right now. Okay, so you can see here that we have a background, indeed. But the very tops of Indavo Rachel's head will be visible in this shot. So, and they'll have to react to our dear captain's. Since the captain's speech is basically 6 seconds long, and it will start on frame 1 coming in. He'll start talking on frame 2. That means that our sequence is going to be 7 seconds long. So we go to 168, and that's the length of our sequence. This teal line represents the live timeline, the actual length of your sequence. I think beyond that is not going to be animated or rendered out. You can animate it, but it won't render. It'll just change this value to whatever number of frames you need, and just remember to divide by 24, and that's how you get your number of seconds. Pro tip. Or not. Anyway, all right, let's import some guys. All right, here, let's go and grab the Rachel, and I forgot to loop that around, as I often do. All right, let's loop that music around. I'm sure everyone's sick of it. I will try to make some new music next time. Something also chill. But so 25 is what we want. I imported the reference layer. Okay, that's fine. So she saw on frame 0, but that's too small. There we go. So her head would be about there. Okay, so put frame 0 on there, and we're just going to body turn her all the way around. And we're going to take that head turn right about here. Be that right about there. Okay, we're going to leave her as is right there. All right, to help sell this, we're going to pop that behind there. We don't really have to, because she's going to be rendered completely separate, and I'll mask that off. But if I wanted to save time, I could indeed go ahead and render this background with them in it and not have to worry about masking. Would it save a little bit of time? Yes. It's necessary? No. But, I mean, this is really the tip tops of their heads that we're seeing. So, yeah, I think we might do that. Why not cheat when you can cheat, right? Sure. Cheating, it's just, being efficient. All right, so let's grab Indavo from the Indavo folder. There he is right there. Pow. He's got his jacket on here. We're gonna import it by reference. We're just gonna take the jacket off. Whoa, he's behind everything. As he should be. Okay, so let's get rid of the jacket. I've color-coded certain items of clothing so they can be turned on and off or swapped out as needed. All right, let's get him into position. Let's kind of put him next to Rachel here so we can kind of make sure that his head is going to be about the same size. And he'll be up just a little bit higher since he is, in fact, slightly taller. Let's get rid of that stray keyframe there that worries me as to what the heck that was doing there. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to hit the ye old flip horizontally trick, I like to do. And in doing so, now we're going to go to his head file and we're going to hit the hair, flip to the left bangs. Ah, see? It's how I make my 360-degree turns. I make 180 and then I flip them, and things that are on the left side are flipped over to the right side in order to make their 300. It's an illusion. It's all animations, the art of illusion. So it's cost saving, time saving. Measure. All right, so we're gonna just pop his head over like that. And I think he's too far up though. He's not that much taller. He's just a slight bit taller than Rachel. So yeah, that's fine right here. So let's move him to right about here, and then we're gonna pivot that forward just a skosh. All right, like so. Okay, hold, guys. Okay, so the captain will be zipping up here, so we're gonna kind of reanimate their heads to kind of look like they are reacting in some fashion to this rather brusque captain. They're both going to kind of be about the same. Now let's move that over about half mark. That half mark. All right, there we go. All right, that's not bad. So again, to save time, I'm just going to get rid of this vector layer. We don't need it. It won't show up. It probably won't be an impediment in any ways. So we're going to go actually play blast there. Play button. Watch it go. That's fine. All right, yeah, this is going to be a-okay. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go to frame 1. And we're going to go to export animation. Okay, we're going to export an image sequence, of course, PNG. And now we're going to choose where this goes. We need to choose this, not of course in the Indavo folder, but in the Shot 7 folder. We're going to do a second render folder, and we're going to call this one renders. Because I doubt the other one, but it's fine. Whatever, it could be. I guess I could have put it in the same folder since technically they got different names, but I like to keep them separate. It's easier to find. You don't have to dig through all those image files. If you've got 3 renders in one folder, they're all named differently, but you still have to scroll till you find the second set or the third set in there. So yeah, it's just easier. All right, there we go. Bam. So now that is rendering out. Trust me, it is. Oh, you can see it down here. All right. This may take a little bit of time to do so. Transparency is on, so everything's looking okay there. I've got an animation for the Mac screen that I might go ahead and toss in here once we get to After Effects, which we will be there momentarily. So, as that goes, right. All right, I'm going to bring down the After Effects panel. Not bringing in the After Effects panel, but no. There it is. That's what I want. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're about a quarter of the way through. So we're going to go ahead and get this, the rest of this fired up here. So let's go to new folder in the project window, and we're going to call this shot 7 spaces. Okay, with that selected, let's go ahead and make a new composition. This composition's going to come. Let's change that to also say shot 7. And it says 3 seconds long. It's not. It is 7 seconds long. We counted it, remember? Ha ha ha. Math and memory. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We're going to hit save. And now we're going to import some of our other elements that we'll be needing in this scene. So let's go here. Let's go find shot 7. Shot 7. And the things that we do need for this are going to be, the space background. This space background. Okay, because this is the scene of the bridge with Indavo and Rachel on it. So the ship's going to be on the outside here. All right, he's just going to be hanging around here. What we're going to do, since we got some playroom here vertically, is we're going to hit the P button, and we're going to turn on the keyframes, and we're going to make sure motion blur is on and checked, and everything is hunky-dory. And we're here at the first frame. We've got a keyframe here, but I don't necessarily think that's what we need. So I'm going to put that right here. This is a subtle movement downward. That's all it's going to be. Right about to there. Very subtle. That's all we need. In fact, it's a little bit too unsubtle. No, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Okay. It's safe. Okay. We're almost done rendering. We're done rendering. Okay, so while we are here, we're going to go ahead and put in File, Import, and we're going to put in the renders A, which is the bridge scene. And we're going to put that right above that one. And oh no, it didn't go the way. What did we not do? We did not interpret footage, because it interprets everything as 30 frames per second, even though it is 24 frames per second. And there must be a way to reset that in some way. So we're just going to make sure this is dragged out here to the 7-second mark, and bam, there we go. You get a little bit of movement there. Yeah, 7. But alas, the thing you can't do when you've done this as one, and this is very unfortunate, is you cannot add those nice shading effects without adding it to the entire scene. So just forget I did that. So we're going to delete that out, and we're going to delete that out. Okay, that looks fine. We're going to go back to here to the shot folder, and what we're going to do is we're going to import this in here in the background file. Okay, no problem. All right, so we'll put the background file in instead. And because compositing, it's important. It's a thing. It really is. So what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to go back into Moho right here, and we're just going to hide that, and we're going to keep Davo and Rachel right there, and we're going to go back to export. Now this should export much quicker without that image in there. Image sequence, PNG, override existing files. We're going to figure out where we landed at. Land in there? I think it was in there. And we're going to hit OK. So now it should go. Is it rendering? Yes, it is. How fast will this move? It's going okay. So why that's going. Oops. Okay, so we're going to make another composition for this one. Okay, so go to new composition. This is going to be shot P. Shot 7B, sorry. Shot 7. Very important to have the shot number in anything. Okay, I'm gonna call this 6. Okay, so there we go. Ow. So, okay, this is what we call pre-composition. We have a composition that's going to be put into another composition. You've pre-composed it. So what we're going to do is we're going to import in about a quarter of the way in our renders. Re-renders. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and put that background into here. And as I said before, I'm thinking I'm going to do an effect here. And we're going to go to GAUS for Gaussian blur. Drop that right on there. Okay, right now, our effects control panel comes up. There's no blurriness. 0. None whatsoever. Nada. So we just need to change that over to just merge. First to blur out just a little bit. So we get a little bit of field of depth there. Okay, great. Normally, there would also be people visible right here and here, but with the camera angle, the captain hiding them behind his shoulders. Anyway, I also have, if we go back to here to the project, I also have a thing I'm going to bring into here into my just general thing, and it is called, let me say that just in case we crash something out here, import file. Okay, we're going to go to resources. Let's see, did I just put that out here in the shots? No, okay, I think I did put it into the animation resources. That would be the clever thing to have done. Oh, right there it is. That's what I'm looking for. The EOS shader. Okay. So before we do anything else, Indavo Rachel are almost done rendering, by the way. We're going to go ahead and put the shader right over here. How? Okay. That's not so great. So what we're going to do is we're going to go blending mode and we're going to go multiply with that. And maybe we're not going to go multiply with that. Let's see what we've got here in the blending modes that looks the best. Hard light? Maybe, if the opacity goes down. Let's see. I hear kitten protest. They say I'm taking too long. I should wrap this up. But I will shortly, so everyone just chill out. Screen. Ooh, I think screen is actually what we're looking for today. Okay, it's T for opacity, so transparency. I'm going to take that down to about 64, 70. Okay, selecting that layer there, we're going to go back to our shot folder. And now we are going to import our very terse captain. Okay, so we're going to go back and find his renders. If I'm more organized, it's probably be better, but it's half the fun. Okay, so let's interpret that footage. That's right, main from 30 to 24 frames per second and hit enter. Okay, I'm going to drop this guy right down on top of here, and he's going to go right to there. Oh yes, that's much better. It looks like he's in this brightly lit red and yellow bridge. That does look pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Okay. So, what I should do also is add in his audio file. Yeah. All right. We're not going to do any sort of leveling. We've already done that. And we're just going to leave it right. That looks good. Okay. All right. Now, there are a couple things I need to do to the Dear Captain before we go on here. This is looking quite good. So, there's not a great deal that we need to do. So, we need to select the Captain's layer. We're going to hit blending mode and layer styles. And we're going to inner shadow. But we're not actually doing a shadow. We're making edges today. We'll go down here to the inner shadow. It's all multiply right now. We're going to change that out to the eyedropper, and we're going to go over to the eyedropper, and we are going to round that yellow right there. And we're going to turn that on to hard light. Dang it. All right. And let's turn that up. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. So also what we're going to do while I'm thinking of it, we're going to position the captain down a little bit so that when I put the gradient on him, the edge of the gradient will not show up on the bottom. It's just a skosh down. It's just enough to hide it. Cheating once again, I tell you what. All right. Tricks of the trade is what it is. Not sort of cheating. Little hacks. Yeah, that's little hacks. Okay, so let's go back up to layer styles because I need to change some of these options on this inner shadow. Opacity is 99. Our angle should be 90. It is. Distance. That there. We're gonna do a choke on this or not? No. No. Okay, so there we go. All right. The other thing we need to do is a little bit of a also on these layer styles is for that transform. We don't need that transform open. Layer styles, we need to do a gradient overlay. Okay, well, as you can see right now, this gradient overlay is completely wrong as what we're needing. Ooh, not divide. Thank you. Multiply. Yes. Ooh, very ominous, but wrong. Très dramatique. But no. That's not what we're wanting. No French here. Unless you're French, it's okay. No discrimination. What we need is just set for frame. Oh, no. Frame. Just set this to 0. There we go. All right, and we need actually 180. Oh, okay, well, that is obviously way too dark. Just need it to be a little bit darker. There we go. He's a very atmospheric bridge here, so let us see what we've got here. The preview mode renders out the preview frames.
This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves.
Ah, very nice. Very nice. Okay, well, that's the screen. So we're just going to hit save. We're not going to render this out, but we are going to hit save. Okay, so now, what do we do? Well, this is the tricky part. Okay, so. Oh, by the way, before we do that, let's go ahead and get Indavo and Rachel into position. Yes. Okay, well, they've got to be in front of it. Oh, yeah, that's right. No problem. It's not a problem. They do have to be in front of it, and they will be. I'm going to mask off their layer. So we're going to import file, and we're going to go to renders. Yeah, we're going to do that again. Image sequence, yada. Okay. Reinterpret the footage from 30 to 24. Hit enter. Boom. Bippity boppity boo. Okay, well, that's good. All right, as you can see, this is completely wrong. Completely and totally wrong. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get the pen tool. Put it here. Put it there. Over there. There, and then there, and then there, and there. Okay, bam. They're masked off. Not very well. Once again, I did everything from 40,000 feet and it didn't work. Hey, I have to get in close. You have to get in close sometimes. And here we go. Much better. Get that hand tool and grab this one over here. That's got to be better aligned. And then I did that. And there. Okay, that's better. Bam. Okay, so we have to go to here and say fit up to 100%. Fine. Okay, space background. I should have another shader up here. What Empire of the Shore shader? Did I just make my own shader? I did. Oh yeah, that's right. I totally just did. I'm just going to take this solid block here, and I'm going to hit copy, and I'm going to go shot 7, and I'm going to hit paste. This is the very just that to be the length of the comp. Always helps. Okay, good. All right, now we're going to also go to shot 6, and we're going to go to here. Do you have any effects on here? Oh, I know what to do. Okay, we're gonna grab those two. Oh no. I do have effects controls. I do have light sweep on that. Ah, yeah. Well, I'm just gonna take light sweep. I'm not gonna take these guys. I'm just gonna take this light sweep right here. Okay. So copying the light sweep on to here just by hitting the old paste, and bam, there we go. We're just gonna adjust this ever so slightly. And do we put a gradient on this? I'd say no, but yes, we shall. It's going to have to be a little subtle. Hella subtle. Okay, so obviously that was completely not the way to go with that. Okay, let's turn this on to not divide, multiply. So we're going to there. Okay, let's take that opacity down. All right, there. Hold. Right there. Perfect. All right, now we're ready to go. All right, so let's get our transmission in here. Now, how are we going to get that transmission here? That's easy. So we have our current composition, which is shot 7, and we have shot 7B. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to first second here. And we're going to go to 7B. We're just going to drag that right into here. Ooh, that's huge. What are we going to do? Well, okay, we're going to hit scale. Okay. Keyframe. And we're going to set that for 0. Pow. It's not even there. Then we're going to go to here. And we are going to do a couple of things. We're going to make that a 3-dimensional object. All right. Now here, we're going to scale up. Good. No, that's not the right orientation. It's just a process. There we go. That's what we're wanting. Okay, so now we're going to hit the position. And we're going to just this guy. Now, as you can tell, it's kind of wrong. Yeah, he has to be behind them. Oh, there we go. All right, so that is screen up. Now, let's give it a little bit of oomph to sell this here, that this is in fact actually some sort of screen. So what we're going to do is find our shot B and let's see what that looks like. Now, if we wanted to kind of get schmunky with it, let's get a little funky with it. Yeah, why not? On this keyframe, All right, great. But here's the problem. We're not right. All those keyframes are in the wrong position because I need them to be right here. there. And he needs to be in position right to there. Getting these weird distortions when you're holofield thing. This is an old tricky thing. Looks a little bit more techie-ish. Okay, let's sell this a little bit more with a layer style, and we're going to put the outer glow on this. Okay, so we need to go down to outer glow, and right now it's yellow, which is the color of the definitely the color of the ship, but not of the Mac transmission color. Okay, there. Okay, so we're going to go to opacity. We're going to increase that opacity to 100. And we're going to go up here. That's on screen. Let's change that to hard light. And maybe precise would work. No, maybe it wouldn't. Here, there we go. Range that up. There we go. And here we have. Alas, there is a little bit of problem here in that in our final size, we're just a little bit too big because we've hit Indavo's chair. I know. Unfortunate. So we're getting some of that glow on his chair where it shouldn't be there because it should be behind. So what we're going to do in order to fix that is just resize that last point on the here. Lit up. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, hey, this is looking pretty good. So let's take a looky here. So we've got some stuff going on there. All right, while I'm thinking about that, let's see here. Now, I'm going to quickly check some resources here and see if I've got anything in the Mac screens, which, oh, I totally do. It's right there. I'm going to bring this in. Okay, so I'm bringing this in to a folder, new folder. We're going to do a new folder. Screens, because I do have some renders, and I do have this kind of basic Mac screen. Mac screen. But it has ended up being in the wrong spot. So I'm going to just delete that out because I don't need it in that one. No, I need it in the basic spot. So Mac screens. All right. Is that a joke? That could be a joke. Who knows? So into resources. We're looking for Mac screens, and here are several screens here. Helm, gunnery, display, yada 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 yada. But we want the main one, so we're gonna take that one out right here. Bam. Okay, so we're gonna drop this guy into. Let me just put it right there for a second, and minimize that, and then we'll put that background right here. Okay, so this is not anything that we really need size-wise. It does. Okay, good. So we're going to scale this down. Scale this guy down. Scale this guy down. Scale this guy down. Looks like I didn't quite make that the right size. Kind of oldish. Okay, let's check the transparencies. Make sure that I've got. Yeah. Oh, well, I apparently have done something stupid. I hit the wrong button, and we seem to have lost our composition. Let's close that and reopen it. Oh, well. There it is. Okay. So anyway. Oh, see, you can. Huh. Look at that. Huh. So I know will hide. Cap blocks are. We'll hide that. And let's do right about here. Okay. So what are we doing? Okay, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're gonna make this guy just a little bit bigger, a bit small. Put right. Yeah, a little bit smaller. Hold it right there. Check it. That looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we are now going to... Ow. Now we're going to take that transparency, opacity to max. And I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go to that. Okay, now we just got to make sure things that he's below that and that's above that. And once again, I did it again. Excellent. That's not bad. It could be better. No, I think we're gonna leave it as is for right now. I was thinking about the backs of the chairs, but there is actually quite a bit of light coming on the back of the chairs from the lights on the ceiling of the bridge. So what we're going to do now is we're going to solid at this. Let's see what we got.
This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves. This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves. This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify.
Okay, not bad. All right, not bad at all. I'm gonna take a look at those scales, and we're just gonna tighten that up. So maybe he'll have a little bit more. There we go. Yes. Let's see what we got.
This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer. This is the Empire of the Sword Destroyer, Kurden. Identify yourselves.
There we go. Not bad. All right. So it's ready. That's it. That's a scene. That's a scene of one very terse captain talking to the crew of the adventure, and what will be an unfortunate encounter, I'm sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this to the render queue. Render queue is everything that you're going to render out, and I usually don't wait on this. I usually go ahead and render out everything instead of waiting to have a batch of them. I tend to do it at a time. So that's not efficient, but that's how it goes. Okay, let's see where we're going with that. Let's put that back into shot 7. Okay, so we hit rendering. We're going to save that right there. No, we're going to save that right there. Save it right there. And hit render. And off it goes. And it doesn't really take very long to render. Boom, done. All right, hey, we have just done another shot here. And let's go back down to... Yeah. All right, so well, that's shot 7 of Indavo 2.0. Pretty complicated, a lot of things going on, lots of compositing after the animation, but that is the process. That is how the sausage is made, as they say. And now I just have to do that at roughly about another 140-ish times, and bam, we have an episode! Woo! So anyway, like I said, if you please remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or contact me. I'll answer them. There are no dumb questions. There are dumb answers. Aha. So everyone, have a great night out there.